Well, so
all right,
we got Phil. Phil is in the room. Lorianne, here comes Lorianne.
we just need Phil. We just need
Let
Phil.
me tell you a funny story about Lorianne real quick, who just came in. Lorianne is a perfectionist on her articles. She sent me the draft last night and then sent me it again 8 more times with minor corrections, and there's still one to go. So
That's good. All right, you guys see Donay's here. This is great. She looks very tropical. She looks very tropical.
I'm in the
today.
breeze. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
I'm outside in a hot Tennessee summer day.
They are hot. But listen, worse than that, I got to tell you, I'm not having a good feeling about these midterms. Puerto Rico should not be anywhere near close to Paxton in Texas.
Now, not to say who you sided with, but like, Donay, do you? Well, it's right down the road from you. Well, a couple of states. Do you follow the Texas politics at all with Paxton and? A
little bit. I used to live in Texas. We lived in Dallas for 13 years. So I but I actually haven't been paying as much attention to that. I'm just worrying about every candidate that Mamdani endorsed made it. And that is something that's really concerning when you look at the socialism, communism side of their endeavors.
Yeah.
That's who they're running, though. You got Graham Planter. You got that Tellerico guy, which is.
Yeah, but Graham Planter doesn't have a chance because he's running up against Susan Collins and the Republican machine that's up in Maine, right? They'll take care of Graham Planter. They're just running him. The problem that we have is in Texas, Cornyn was the Republican machine guy, right? And the president decided to throw his weight behind Paxton. And Paxton's got all sorts of luggage with the wife cheating and all of this other stuff. So I mean, it's going to be a tough thing in Texas. And Tallarico, like I said, he shouldn't. Texas is really red deep down. But the thing is, things change.
Wait, but this is the second. How many have we had? Okay, I'm just saying Beto. Right? Then he was a superstar. Then it was all red. He was a superstar. Now it's Tellerico. I mean, how many? I hate to be like this, but how many guys are they going to make into a superhero, run and loose? That's all I'm saying. Because it's just he's another one of them.
Now, Donay can attest to this. Donay, the MAGA Influencer Network on X are working overtime to keep people in the mindset that their vote doesn't count. Why bother to go out and vote? And this is why I think we're going to lose. Our people just aren't going to show up.
Well, that's the whole effort is to which multiple angles. However, we can discourage them. Oh, we're not getting the Epstein list. We're not getting prosecutions when they need to be a little bit patient if they actually want actual prosecutions and not just to read a list. So that's one of the avenues. And then the other is the war avenue. So, all those evil neocons and we're against war. And we know Trump doesn't want war. This is a different kind of situation when it comes to Iran. But we must remember that you have this Islamist communist joining of hands. That's the way my dad saw it. And the joining of hands there is very dangerous because if you look at Texas, for instance, they are trying to establish Sharia neighborhoods. And I know that they're knocking it down as far as the governor or whoever. But that is happening. Yeah. And so, yes, Texas is red. But if you look at Austin, look at the migration after COVID or during COVID.
Look at Hayes County.
Tennessee, they came here and they went to Texas and especially the Austin area. And so that is spreading. So that red, I mean, it's impossible for me to imagine as someone who spent a lot of my youth in Dallas and Texas to imagine that even being a possibility, but then you have to look at what's happening. So all with the voting fraud as well. But what we're seeing is an effort to discourage the voters from showing up, because if we show up, we win.
I think so. You know, going back to this whole thing with everyone talking about, oh, okay, you know what, this is not what we voted for. Let's get the Epstein list and everything. We talked about this before.
We talked about that yesterday.
Kash Patel is doing an amazing job, and yet everyone is like, oh, okay, all right, well, what is Trump doing with this? And I think it's a minority on X. I don't think it's everywhere else.
I think so. I think it is because, I mean, even CNN's poll that I saw this morning, and that's a CNN poll, showed that there's overwhelming support for Trump and his administration. So the efforts are to discourage, to weaken the strength of that MAGA base that got Trump elected.
That's right.
The plan all along is to fracture and weaken that way because there's no other way to do it.
Right. Right. But I'm just saying, President Trump is not on the ballot. That's number one. It's the midterms. People are already, you know, historically, it's only those of the base that are excited to vote will go out and vote. The great majority of people are not going to go out and vote. If you look at the midterm historical figures on midterm turnout, it's way off a general election. So that's what I'm saying. And then on the right, you have the MAGA influencer network, and everybody knows what I'm talking about, that constantly create a feeling of hopelessness that your vote doesn't count, the country stinks, you know, you might as well jump off the bridge. You know, it's
Trump let us down.
Right.
Trump let us down. Right.
When any of us got to be in his shoes and to make these decisions, considering what he has to consider.
Right. I am sure when I see this, because one of my friends just invited me I'll just tell you, it's a Rotary Club, or just invited me for some event, which, like, no one cared what I did for a living. No one cared what I was voting. They were just like, they're worried about business. They're there to help people, network, all this stuff. Donay, I don't think the average person is even on X. I mean, it's our job to be on X, you know, but I don't think they have X accounts. I think they have Facebook accounts. I know that you have a big Facebook presence.
Instagram
We do.
and Facebook.
Yeah.
Those things, yes.
Most people are on Instagram. They're doom scrolling on Instagram. Yeah, and they're shopping on Instagram. I don't know. People shop on Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but there you go.
Look, I don't even actually have an Instagram. I've just done that before when I used to. I mean, my Instagram is there, but I logged out and never logged back in a few years ago. Facebook as well. I just never went back because they were censoring so much.
Yeah.
This was during the Biden years. I couldn't, and I've never gone back. So I just stayed on X, but I can attest to that. I mean, most of my family and friends aren't even on X.
Really quick, Donay, on your dad, when he was around, was he politically active? Because you are definitely politically active, but he wasn't?
No. He was very careful to keep himself separated from those kind of things because he was seeing things that involved politics.
Right. Okay.
So he couldn't be seen to.
He went to the White House and met George W. Bush because he had said he was going to be president beforehand, and then he saw 9/11, and so he did end up going once for an event, and so it was that kind of thing, but not, with his show, for instance, or his broadcast. That was a church service, and he was prophesying. And so the political things would just come out when that happened, but he was very careful not to be. And he also was never very active on social media at all. Now, he passed away in 2016.
Now he rules social media.
It was Twitter then, and I was trying to get him to join Twitter, and he was not interested at all. And so he really he got onto Facebook a little bit, but it wasn't him. His assistant would just post stuff for the ministry on his Facebook page, or if he had a statement, it would go in an email and it would go on his Facebook page. So he never was part of any of that. No.
All right. Donay, we got to go ahead.
Well, a second. We couple of things. Donay, you touched on the Iranian regime, and I like what you said. I like what you said, but I'm going to take it a step further, and then we have a clip that we want you that we're going to show that expresses this in a different way. But I really think that the Iranian regime is nothing more than organized crime dressed up as clerics. I mean, that's really all it is. These guys are just criminals that persuaded a nation that somehow they persuaded the nation utilizing their religion, and then took over the nation and have been pillaging it for the last 50 years. And that's it. They're just criminals because they're crazy criminals. These aren't even criminals like an Al Capone or Lucky Luciano. These guys are nuts.
Yeah, they're 12er Shias. So they have an eschatology that is insane. You know, we've got Revelation, end time studies.
Elaborate on that. On that.
They believe that the 13th Imam is going to come out of a well in Qom, which is in Iran. That's why they took Iran. That's why the super religious, well, it's not even super religious because they're all super religious, but this sect of Shia Muslims has an eschatology they believe, and the way they managed to get a hold of Iran was by joining hands with the communists. Right. And they had a lot of promises that they broke, because in Islam there's a thing called taqiyya, and in taqiyya you can lie and it's okay, and if the ends justify the means in spreading Islam, then it's okay for you to lie. It's okay for you, and it's in the Quran. It's called taqiyya. Right. And so they lied. And so all those women you saw cheering for freedom because they were going to escape the monarchy system.
Yeah.
Which was the thing that was happening during, that time, 100 or so years. Yeah. And so they were thinking that's what they were going to, get an escape from a monarchical system. And they were promised, just like Mamdani is doing right now in New York. They did it there. And the way they were successful was to get the support. And as soon as they got control, as soon as Khomeini came off that plane and they'd flown the Shah out and he got control, they slaughtered all those liberal women who thought they were going to get whatever. Yep. You see the cover of the newspaper, the two women, there's a newspaper headline from when it happened. And the two women in that picture, one was beheaded and the other one escaped.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait until you see this video. Gene, why don't you show that clip?
Yeah. Here we go. Watch this, Donay. This is great.
Also really connected to Adriana, who is this woman that's like leading this revolution against this oppressive regime. I mean, honestly, it's like my DNA tickles. I'm Persian. And I just feel like my entire life I've grown up hearing about the stories of what's happening right now in Iran. My mother was one of the original protesters protesting over 40 years ago. And when Mahsa Amini got arrested and was murdered, all of those stories of my youth kind of came alive.
That's the actress Sarah Shahi.
So Iranian women are beautiful.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and the culture. And like you were too young, but like I think I was like 7 years old or something when the Shah with the Iran Contra. Not Iran Contra. The Iran with the
Iran Contra happened right after that, though.
Right. They took the embassy, but I mean, since then I try to tell people all the time, this is the regime that we're fighting. It's not these people. Right.
Now let me throw something out there at you both. And this is just my personal opinion. I don't think that anyone in that regime, from the IRGC down, believes one iota of the religion that they're purporting to believe. I'm telling you, these guys act like rats. They act just like criminals. They could care less about the people, and they could care less about the land. All they're interested in is enriching themselves and gaining more and more power. That's the point of supplying Hezbollah and the other terrorist organizations and proxies, right? That's all it's about. It's about taking over, being that one superpower in the Middle East. Hence why they hate Israel so much, because Israel is standing in the way of them attaining that goal. So I'm telling you, I don't think these guys believe anything. They're like the people that get up there, build a ministry out, claiming that they believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and if they don't have they could care less. All they want is to suck as much money out of people as possible.
And the rules of that religion are very advantageous to them.
That's right. There you go.
You cannot ever speak against it, because now you're blaspheming against Allah and they have the right to kill you. I mean, that is a lot of control and power.
Yep.
Right.
Complaining about no kings and all this. Think about living under a regime like that, or in Afghanistan. They've given Afghanistan back to Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda now has passed a law where women can no longer speak at all. Just no more talking to the women. That's crazy.
You think that's the right idea?
Because women keep their mouths shut, and one day they will explode. This is what these men don't understand.
Gene told me to say that, Gene told me to say that.
No, my whole thing with this is what we've been trying to educate people with, and I'm educated too, but like most people can't even name the countries there and which ones stand with the United States. I mean, Qatar just gave us a Air Force One, the new one they built up. They can't even name the dynamics, who's against who.
Great.
Right.
The UAE, they're much more reasonable. But Yemen's a problem.
Yeah.
Afghanistan's a problem. Iraq is a problem. Syria is a big problem with Al-Jilani over there. I don't know what Trump's taking a big gamble with him, and I don't think it's going to end well.
Really, before we move on to the next topic, Done, how did you? Because we talked to a lot of guests outside of this program, and I know we're shocked about how people know so little about the Middle East and world politics in the world. How did you get so involved with this? Is it your interest, your dad? Yeah.
I mean, I knew little bits of things because I am from a different country. So I do have family, not only in South Africa where I was born, but in England, in Australia, in Dubai. I've got family all over the world. And so when that kind of thing happens, when you're from somewhere and everybody flees, then you learn about the places they're in. Like I have a cousin who's in Kent outside of London now. And so we message each other on WhatsApp all the time. And she's telling me things going on there, what she's experiencing and seeing. And, of course, we're aligned politically. She would love to come and live here. She's actually afraid in London. She left South Africa because she was afraid there. Now she's outside of London and she's afraid there. And so it's it gives you a broader perspective. And I guess that had an influence as well. And my grandmother was another. My grandmother knew all about the Clintons, was not a fan. Not a fan.
Right. Now,
Paula
makes a good point here. She goes, what is going to be done about Islam here? Now, is Islam a problem here in the United States?
Maybe I'm in Arkansas, but I've never had a problem
in
with
Arkansas. They probably have a ton of Islamists.
I'm just saying.
I don't think they want to go to Arkansas.
We talked about this before. The hate that we're seeing, oddly, the hate that we're seeing, and we talked about this, Dave, in this dispatch article.
That's the next one.
Right. The hate that we're seeing with Israel is a lot of people on the far right. I mean,
right.
A lot on the left too. If you're talking about
right.
your regular Muslim family, my daughter goes to school with. There's a Kurdish kid. I'm not talking about that. People who migrate and assimilate into the culture they migrate into are fine. But that's not what's going on here. There is a
Right. Hold on. I'm going to interrupt you just real quick.
Sure.
Again, you're talking about just what you said before about those that adopt this religion of Islam because it's advantageous to them to be corrupt and hide behind the religion.
Yes. And because they are colonizers. They say that about Israel. It's so weird. They're the ones who are expanding. They're the expanders, and their goal is to have the West, the caliphate in the West.
It always was.
Because the goal is the Islamization of the world. We all have to, if you understand that that is the primary goal of Islam, and in the constitution of Iran, one of the things that they put in the constitution is that there must be not a drop of Jewish blood left on earth.
Now, ain't that something?
And then
Now,
all of us must convert to Islam or die. So if you know that's their goal, and we don't want to live under Sharia law, then we have to be careful with the immigration process. You can't open the borders and just let them come running in for year after year after year and not think that they're going to buy up neighborhoods in Texas and try to impose Sharia law. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, watch this video here. It just as a reminder, because we're doing the America 250th big celebration, just to remind where this, what America was in its founding. We've been doing a lot of history. Now watch this.
The Jewish people from John Adams, America's second president. I will insist that the Hebrews have done more to civilize men than any other nation. If I were an atheist and believed in blind eternal fate, I should still believe that fate had ordained the Jews to be the most essential instrument for civilizing the nations. The Romans and their empire were but a bauble in comparison to the Jews. The Jews have given religion to 3/4 of the globe and have influenced the affairs of mankind more, and more happily, than any other nation, ancient or modern.
You know, when our pagan ancestors and the Islamic ancestors and European ancestors and African ancestors, when especially in Europe, because they're loudmouths there, but when the European ancestors were, you know, picking acorns up off the floor of the Black Forest, the Jews were receiving the law of God. I mean, let's understand where we're at with this. You know, all of these people that are like, oh, the Jews are no good, the Jews are no good. Give me a break. You come from a line of people that didn't know how to wash themselves, frankly. I mean, it's the truth.
Absolutely. Yes.
I know.
And if you look at today, how many cures, inventions, they're very innovative people coming out of Israel.
Right.
You know, we now have a golden dome.
Okay. All right. Let me just do it this way with this, because, you know, and people flip it, because it's not like we're not melding our military with Israel, but we've talked about it before. We build it, they buy it, and then their smart people soup it up with AI and everything, and they give it back to us to say, look what we did on the hood. And then we get stronger, they get stronger. But this whole network turned it into like, oh, we're being controlled by Israel or whatever. And I can't stand that type of thing.
That would be like saying like Shelby controls Ford. Shelby takes a Mustang, turns it into a hot, souped up, great looking car, and then gives it back to Ford to improve. Shelby didn't take over Ford.
Yeah.
These people are crazy. They're just a bunch of Jew haters, frankly.
Well, the thing is, it to me seems like you don't have an argument. So you're just going to say, oh, I don't agree with what you're saying. And the reason is, oh, you're just controlled by Jews. And it's a very easy way to dismiss an argument and not actually face what may actually be happening to you. It's happened before. There was a Holocaust.
Yeah.
And a Hitler. And before that, they threw him out of Europe. Always. Yeah.
Always. And that's why I say, if the Jews in Israel right now, people that say, well, they're not real Jews, they're not the real Hebrews and all of this, if that be the case, then Satan is the stupidest being that has ever been created. Because how this idiot with all of his minions, could not keep track of one bloodline throughout all these thousands of years, if he couldn't do that, that's an imbecile. And we know that he's not an imbecile.
Look, here's what I know. I know Jewish people, a lot of them. And I'll tell you what, they are a kind of people, all right? They have a unique DNA. It's not about skin color.
Right.
You know, it's like we're white and so are Russian people white. But what do we have in common with them? Nothing, because it's not about race. But the thing about Jewish people is they have a unique DNA. It's proven. You can look it up. You can see it. I have it in my bloodline. My great-grandfather was a Polish Jew, and that unique DNA is there. So who are they then? What is that DNA then?
Right. Right.
What is it? And again, the Khazarian. No, it's nonsense. Okay, I've looked up the Khazarian stuff. I did a whole show on it and everything.
Dave, thank you for picking the topics that would get Donay all pissed off. I like this. I like pissed off
Well, I'm
Donay.
going to tell you right now, Donay, on my mother's side, they came from a long line famous Irish family who adopted that Irish name because they were Jews.
Oh.
So, yeah, right.
That
So,
happened a lot.
and let me tell you something. Our little Oriental friend here, at some point, has a lot to say too. So there, I broke news on our show.
All right, Dave, you want to talk about Tammany Hall and Gangster?
You know, not for nothing, Donay. You know, Gene, he kvetches all the time. He's constant.
What's a kvetch?
Yeah, what's a kvetch? You're always whining. You're always complaining. It's always like, oh, I can't believe it. Look at this over here now.
I'm complaining. I'm a Jew now. I'm a Jew.
Hey, screenshot that. Somebody screenshot that and send it to me.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's funny stuff.
All right, Dave, can we do Tammany Hall thing here? Do Tammany Hall?
Yeah, here's another Jewish girl. She doesn't know it yet.
We're not accepting Paula as Cherokee until she gets the blood. She's got to get a blood test.
That's right. Listen, Paula, we don't need any more fake Pocahontases. So if, like Gene said, if you get, proper credentials.
Oh my goodness! No, we're just playing with you. All right,
Irish are good people. We're
I
going
see
to talk
the Irish.
about them.
I'm Scottish.
Oh well, they don't like
And
the Scottish.
Fraser. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but the Irish don't like the Scottish.
But hey, Trump's Scottish. That's cool.
And we still like him.
Not from the same clan. Clan Fraser. It was a big deal on my mom's side. My grandfather.
Irish are good people.
Culloden and
Irish, Scottish, good people.
good
Good.
people.
all right.
Beautiful.
Dave, can we
There
talk
we
about Tammany Hall?
Let's do it.
I bet Donay doesn't know anything about Tammany
No.
Hall. She's
No, I don't.
okay. Good. I didn't until today. But it's what is it? The birthplace of liberalism, right, Dave? No, well, is that good?
Well, no, it's like more like they were opportunists.
Okay. Did you have
You know,
relatives? Did you have relatives in Tammany Hall?
Well, what you had is you had the great
You don't have.
influx of immigration during the potato famine,
Yes.
right? In Ireland. So you had tons of Irish coming over to the United States. All right. And instantly, of course, the nativists. I mean, the Gangs of New York movie is all about this.
Yes. I was going to say.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to say that because I don't want to think that people think I get my history through the movies, but I saw Gangs of New York. That was a good movie.
It was
So
a good
they
movie,
came-
and it points your eyes toward looking into the history.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they came over, and the nativists hated them. Oh, what do we need these immigrants? Who are these immigrants? They're going to take all our jobs. They're going to build AI, and we're going to be thrown out of our jobs. So anyway, the boys at the Tammany at the St. Tammany Club thought, you know what? Here's an opportunity, because what they started to do is they started to help the Irish, found them housing, clothing, jobs, provided coal, provided food if necessary, and so on. Because they knew that once they did that, they would have a voting bloc. And those Irish would vote for whoever Tammany Hall put up as a candidate, and that person would win. And that's the way it was for a solid 50, 70 years.
Yeah, guys,
You know?
watch this video, and it just shows you like how the political structure got so-called invented, so to speak. Okay, watch this.
Many New Yorkers, and maybe most New Yorkers, hear the words Tammany Hall. They conjure up the image of a corrupt political boss, stealing elections, paying for votes, and robbing the city blind. Is that the wrong image?
It's not complete. Tammany Hall did all of those things, and in some cases proudly. But there was another side to Tammany Hall, and that's the part that I try to explore in this book, because Tammany Hall became, particularly in the early 20th century, Tammany Hall became a force for what we would regard as progressive government, as social welfare reform, even political reform. And even in the 19th century, at the high point of thievery, Tammany stood for immigrant rights and stood for what we would say today, pluralism.
All right, Dave, any thoughts on that? Because I mean, this is like the secret to liberalism, really, don't you think?
Well, look, I remember my parents talking about how their parents, where the guys from Tammany Hall would come into Hell's Kitchen and hand out turkeys at Thanksgiving and Christmas when people didn't have a lot to eat. It was the Depression. They didn't have a lot to eat, and these guys were handing out food out of the back of trucks. And the people, what are you going to do? You're not going to vote for them now? Of course you're.
Right.
No one else is helping you, right? All of the wealthy business owners up Fifth Avenue, they're not helping you.
They're still doing it.
Yeah.
They still use that tactic. Look at Mom
Yes.
Donald. They take a legitimate, you have a legitimate problem, right? The problem is legitimate. And they come in like the heroes. Oh, don't worry, here's food. Here's somewhere to live. Here's And then they have the vote. They've taken it to such an extreme that it happened with immigration and with the immigrants.
Right.
So the problem that you have now, though, is you don't just have the downtrodden voting for them. You also have the block of elites who are voting for them.
Right.
So you've got the elites with their agendas, and this is advantageous to them for whatever reason or whatever they've been tricked. And then you have those who are genuinely in need, and someone coming in like a hero, like a Superman, and here everything's solved for you. Vote for us, and of course they're going to vote for them. They fed them when they were hungry.
Right. So where was the other people? Where were all the other politicians and the other administrations helping the poor people when they were in power? What happened to them?
Now that I think about that, that's almost like Trump's plan, because some of these other people, like they're saying that Trump is the blue collar billionaire with it. It's almost like he's like the only, he's like the only politician on the conservative right that says, let's see what we could do to help these people. And maybe that's the best of both worlds.
But John Kennedy Kennedy was the one that was working with Martin Luther King on the Civil Rights Act. It wasn't Johnson. It was between Kennedy and King, and they were getting the whole thing put together and so on. Johnson just came in after the tragedy and pushed it over the line. But that
was Kennedy. Yes.
Trump is in that mold.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like Trump is like his own version of Republicans in a sense.
Well, Trump's solution requires more of the person who is in need. Trump is not saying, I'm just going to hand you food, so you're dependent on me. He's saying, let's set this up with the future in sight.
Correct.
How can I teach you to fish?
Right.
Right.
That's saying you can teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for a day. I mean, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. That's the difference. But what Trump is putting out there and what the conservatives are more putting out there is Here's the opportunity, work for it. And
Yeah, no,
people who who are capable, I'm not talking about those who aren't capable, I'm talking about those who are capable that don't want to. They'd rather take the handout. And that's human nature stuff.
I think right. I think it's like I see it both sides of it, because normally speaking, it's like, oh, they should help themselves, but these guys found a need to go in there, the ones in Tammany Hall. But I think Trump is doing it in a very responsible manner, so to speak.
Yes.
Maybe this,
like a dad would. Like,
yeah.
Don't spend all the money in your bank account. Open a savings account. Put some of that money in that savings account because you're going to need it later. That's who Trump is. And the Democratic Party is like, let's party.
Right.
Right. But
Everything's
then,
free
but hold
grocery
on a
stores
second,
in New
hold on a
York.
second. You're right about the Democrat side. That's true. But on the right, then you have these people that are like, oh, so what? What are you going to get? You're going to get some stupid job. Where's that going to get you? You're going to make a few bucks. And then what? It's a trap. It's just one big trap. No, we can't vote our way out of this. We're going to have to take matters into our own hands. That's the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
true. Yes.
If we could, right now, I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't seen it already, the America's 250th, I know you guys are talking about it in the chat, and thank you so much. Guys, I'm spending like the next 3 days during this 4th of July signing these. Dave is getting on my case about it. But get that. The other thing I want to say is on the ticker here, as it's coming up, is Donay's website and her husband's website. Donay, your husband's an artist. Really quick, is he's doing something for the 4th of July? Just visit his site. What is this?
Go to his website. There was a painting he did
Coming up.
wrapped in an American flag. He did a painting of Jesus. It's a beautiful painting, and he is giving them away until July 4th. It's the last day. All veterans, active military, firefighters, police, and first responders. So go to the website. And go to the painting and fill it out. And then anybody who's not a veteran or in that category, we appreciate it if you give a little extra. It's name your own price on those prints.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So go to that website. Thank you, Tammy.
PetroWasHere.com. There it is. houseofdestiny.org. That's how you find me. And PetroWasHere.com if you want a Jesus painting. They're beautiful.
Okay. Thank you so much. And anyone who ordered, we got a ton of orders. Guys, this one's a little different. I'm like signing them personally. Just bear with me.
I want one, Gene.
I will send you one.
I have my collection.
See how that works? Okay. Guys, I just want
I want you to know, Donay, that Gene will pay for that book for you.
I'll pay for the book.
No. You don't pay. Dave makes me pay.
No,
I have my George magazine collections, and they're all carefully in cardboard.
When I buy the hat, by the way,
I want that.
Dave gives me a promo code. He gives me a promo code. I'm not joking you. Gene, use gratitude. You get 10% off. Thank you, boss. I'm not joking. I am. I do. I buy all my stuff. I like it.
That is so funny.
All right.
George hats are cute.
All right, Donay, not to say what your beauty secrets are, but have you ever used red light technology?
No, I've heard of it. I have no idea. I don't understand what's happening.
All right. So here's what's happening. There have been numerous clinical things set in, real top-notch medical clinics with very high-end equipment that's calibrated daily and so on, with red light therapy, and it has shown that it clears your skin. It creates new follicle growth for men that might be losing their hair and women that might be losing their hair. There's a lot of other benefits that have been seen in these trials. So what happens is every huckster on earth sees this, and then they produce these cheap replicas, sell them on Amazon. They have advertisements for them. They're advertising more. You got gymnasiums that are now offering red light therapy and all of this stuff. Yeah, and you got some.
What is it? Just a red light bulb?
Yeah, it's a
Or is
bunch
it
of
lasers?
mini.
What's happening?
Listen, it's a bunch of
Laser. It's a
LED
laser.
and you wear a mask that makes you look like Jason from Friday the 13th.
I've seen those.
Yeah, yeah, and then you
What?
lay there and so forth. But the thing is, the if it's not a high-end machine in a medical setting, it's
Right.
all a
You don't
sham.
know. You don't know, Dave. You don't.
Yes, you do.
Look, I would assume
The article
I'm
we
not a
have
person-
has all the references.
I'm not a person who tries things like that. In general,
Listen, that's the kind of thing that you're trying to. Oh wow, my face. Oh, everything looks great. It got rid of some wrinkles and everything.
Well, if
And
it
5
did-
years later, you got melanoma.
No. All right, watch this video.
Just
You guys are
right,
gonna love it. Watch this. Okay, here we go.
Medical equipment undergoes rigorous calibration standards and the practitioners very rigorous training. So I'd recommend any consumers or users to check
Dave, I
out
think
the
I would look good in
credentials of
that
the person
mask. I think I'm gonna
administering
get one.
the treatment. Make sure they've given you correct
Dude, you should
information in
you
terms
should
of
wear a
if it's
mask at
telling
all
you
times.
That's
just
gonna be
as
donate.
good,
That's
it probably
donate in
is
there.
too good to be true.
Well, hold on.
Because
Let me
there
hear
are
this.
adverse effects, there are side effects, and you need to know those. They may also be side effects that come much, much later. We know that ultraviolet rays do contribute to increased aging, known as photoaging, and to skin cancers and other damage. So be careful to use just what you need for the condition and not just for the feel-good factor. Otherwise, you could end up coming away with red-eyed, red-faced, and in the red.
red-eyed, red face, and in the red.
Yeah, everything red.
I remember Joe Rogan saying he did red light therapy and it helped with his eyesight.
I'm not taking a chance with. I would not take a chance with that. That's messed up.
I don't even want to get the. I wear contacts and I don't want to get that
Okay,
LASIK surgery because I'm scared.
LASIK. But listen, here's the thing: if Joe Rogan is doing it, guaranteed,
He's doing
he's
a high
going
quality.
to the best hospital,
Yes,
utilizing the best equipment under the finest medical
not the one
care.
at the tanning salon.
That's right,
Oh my
not
God.
the one at the tanning salon that Lucy over there is recommending.
What if you go to just Amazon and go $15 or less red light therapy?
Yeah, that's right. Then they're giving discounts on it. So now we've covered these two ridiculous things. The cryogenics, where they freeze your head. What did we do yesterday, Gene? The
The cryogenics, yeah, right. Well,
Right.
not genics, whatever it is. You
Yeah,
freeze
where they-
yourself
You basically step into a container that
of night. Yeah.
of nitrogen that's about 181 minus 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's basically like you're turning yourself into ice cream.
But do you die?
So
people have,
because they
yeah.
go in there,
Isn't
they
that
don't
what
know they
happens
have a
when it
heart
gets too
condition.
cold and people freeze to death? You die.
Right.
So then what is
Right.
going to happen?
Dave, you are
You're going to be alive again? Is that what they think?
Dave, you are genius
No,
at
you
picking
know what
these
it is?
topics.
Let me
today.
tell you what it is. It's all of the and I know I'm going to get flack from the ladies here, but it's these. But the purveyors of this are these suburban husbands and and wives that think, oh, I got a little extra flab on my belly. Instead of not eating a bag of potato chips, I'm going to go down to the spa, and I'm going to freeze myself for a few minutes, and that should get rid of it. I'm serious. This is what goes on, because then they want to parade around in swimsuits, and then claim their neighbors are objectifying them. It's a whole,
Yes.
it's a whole BS movement.
I mean, surely there's more to life.
I'm telling you.
I'm a person who I appreciate each stage of life. It's unfortunate that, things are starting to hang, but it's fine. You know what? I can't wait to be an old lady. Then when I'm an old lady, I will embrace it.
We got to get better. I love these topics. We got donate up
I've
on.
never heard of that one, of the freezing.
All right.
Oh, the freezing. You see them, and you know what they do? When they get in this container, they make them wear gloves and socks and a little hat.
And then they freeze them.
And then they freeze the rest of you. You freeze. You're in I don't know for how long, maybe a minute, 2 minutes tops.
There there, I could guarantee you, there's no Chinese person out there doing this.
No, but I would guarantee the Chinese people are running it.
That's true.
Counting the money.
It's the Chinese buying it and running it.
The Chinese
Donate. I'd like to introduce you.
Where they say,
It's
look at
cold.
the stupid round eye. Round eye want to freeze. Look at him.
Here, we'll freeze you and
That's what's
shoot you with
going
red
on.
lasers.
That's right.
Oh, they're cold. So cold. Their eye are so cold. They're getting all squinty.
Oh no, Gene, stop! Oh my gosh, we're having.
Hey, listen. That's what I'm doing this weekend. Okay, guys, we have to do.
Yeah, hold on a second. This Darren's
$89.
right.
I can get one by tomorrow.
Okay. So here's Darren.
Yes.
Harrison Ford used it in 1982 in Empire Strikes Back. That's right. Han Solo was frozen.
And
by
part of
Jabba
the max flux capacitor makes time travel possible. No? Okay.
That's
All
right.
right.
I agree, William.
Thank you, William.
Yes, it is an ancient Chinese secret to count the money in the back.
All these
That's
round eyes. Oh, we love the round eye.
Oh, here come another round eye. He want to freeze.
Oh, you look so beautiful in your bikini. Oh, what's happening, hot stuff?
That's it. Oh my goodness
my.
gracious.
Right, guys, we got two more things, but we have to do the devotional because we're big on
Darren,
this.
yes, it actually freezes off, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's gonna be great, right? Shrinkage. Okay, we're gonna do the devotional here.
That's the
The
segue.
new thing, we started adding it, the full devotional every time we do it. So this is the one from today. So let's watch this and do this. Okay. Do you walk worthily of the Lord? Now, if you're a believer, it might be easy to say, of course I do. I talk about Jesus all the time. I talk about him. I praise him. But that's talking. Do you walk worthily of the Lord? The scripture today is from Colossians 1:10, and it reads there, that ye might walk worthy of the Lord, unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of God. So did you notice the 2 points there? The first one was to be fruitful, to actually produce something. Have you ever seen some people online, they might say, we need a change, this is horrible. But at the same time, they don't do anything about it. They don't help to register people to vote. They don't educate people. It's just talk. It's the same thing with us. We could talk all day, but what are we producing? Does our good works produce fruit? The other thing it mentions is very simple. Increasing in the knowledge of God. Are you doing that? Are you just repeating memes that you have shared online? Or are you actually going into the Bible, reading it daily to understand it more fully? Are you increasing in the knowledge? Or are you just sharing scriptures that you always knew? So think about all these things, but there's one more important part to all of this. And that scripture is from Romans chapter 12, verse 1. And it reads there, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. So we want to consider that scripture as well. So think about it if you walk worthy of our Lord.
Amen. That was good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
So we've been doing that every day. We've been doing for the dispatch. We put a devotional in. So
Yes,
all
I
right.
know, and I love that. That's really,
Oh, thank
really
you.
good. Very encouraging for people.
Thank you. All right.
There's so much that smothers you when you scroll through social media and through the internet, and so to have something like that, it's like a relief.
Oh, thank you. Oh, great. Well, praise the Lord. Okay. One more section. Then I know.
Hold on a
Thank.
second.
Yeah.
I have a quick announcement. Lori Ann has just sent in her final copy of her article. This is after 8 attempts. 8 attempts. And now she writes, I'm going to read it. I'm going to embarrass you, Lori Ann. It's not embarrassing. I am confident now all corrections are made. Praise God. So there you go.
Yeah.
In all caps. She
Yes.
was emphatic and exclamation mark.
Stop. Listen, I'm like that. If I'm writing, because I'm a writer. If I'm writing, it'll be like that. It'll be like that. It's just I got to get it right. I got to make sure it's relayed properly.
So we didn't know that you're a writer. So now we're gonna have to rope you in.
Oh,
Yes.
I would love to, actually. I would.
Okay, guys.
You guys.
Breaking more news here.
Okay.
Don't forget, if you're looking at the scroller, please go to Donay's website and please go to her husband's website.
PetroWestern.com before Saturday, before 4th of July.
Yeah, but guys, besides that, go look at her husband's work and buy something. He's a great artist. Okay, one more article here. We'll do this one on there. The automatic tip or service charge. New state law requires restaurants to tell diners before they order. Last time I went to a dinner, if it's like 6 or more people, then you like automatically get tipped or whatever. We've been talking about tipflation, all this stuff in the George magazine. All right, just ask you, Donay, when you go to Starbucks or one of these places and they turn that thing around, do you tip or not tip and say, no, thank you? You do tip.
I always tip, always, no matter what. Because I've waited tables and I've served coffee. It's not easy. People are hard to please. So if someone, especially if they do a good job, I will.
See, the thing is that with this, I think with the article, because I do the same thing too. I always tip. But here's the problem. There are a lot of these establishments, they turn the tip thing around and the money does not actually go to the person that you think you're tipping.
Is it community tip? Community tip?
It's a community tip, but it's also run through the business itself. And the business owners, the reason there's so much of an uproar is because the business owners are subsidizing paying the wait staff.
That's the problem.
By extorting tips.
There's right now in Arkansas, I don't even go out anymore. But if I do go out, I do tip. But it's I'll be honest, no one knows who I am here in Arkansas. But in Myrtle Beach, when I was there, like if I didn't tip 30%, then the reputation as a business owner is like, oh, he's cheap. So in Myrtle Beach, I always tip like a lot. Well, at least 30%, I think is a lot. But here I do tip, but it like I feel like weird at the Starbucks when they turn the thing around to do the tip. I really do.
That's kind of a community bucket they have for their tips too. So is it really even going to them? So
Right.
I understand that for sure. And also like if you go to a frozen yogurt place and you got to get your own bucket and pick your own and you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, I took my kids to do this not long ago, and you put it on, and all the person behind the counter does is push some buttons, and then they want you to tip.
I do. Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's worthy of a tip.
Okay, one more, and on this, and I'm not joking. Okay. In the morning, I'm telling on myself, I go to McDonald's, and I go get. From the dollar menu, it's the sausage McMuffin, and it's $1.60. When I go through the window and I give the lady $2, she just says thank you, right? And then so I'm like, okay, I guess I got to keep the change. I just roll up my window and go to the next one. But that's like a new thing. It's like this, keep the change tip.
They just automatically assume they're keeping.
Assume that I don't want the change back. Am I being too cheap?
No.
Well, what's the sausage muffin come to, Gene? $1.78?
It's $1.61. I'm not joking.
Who are you, George Costanza?
I like the McGriddle. Just saying.
Donate, Gene is turning into.
You know what I do when I go? I go like this. When I hand him the money, I go. What am I saying?
That's right. That's what happens. That's what happens. He goes to the restaurant. You know how we're at a busy restaurant, you slip the maitre d' or the hostess a couple of bucks to get a table, right? Gene brings change. He slips her like 63 cents. Here's 63 cents.
I would be saying no, it's okay. 63 cents because I don't want a bunch of change in the bottom of my purse.
That's me too.
He doesn't like change in the bottom of his purse either.
It's a merce. It's a man purse.
Man
It's a
gallon.
man bag.
All right, guys. Oh, okay. We got to go. Okay. But I just want to say thank you very much, Donae, once again.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you're great.
Please go to the website. And
Thank
tomorrow.
you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys all. And then we will talk with you guys, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to go to georgemagazine.com and sign up for the Dispatch. It's free. Get the emails and the news stories. And check us out Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you then.